What are you binging right now on any streaming device? Anything you can control with the remote or your telephone? Well, we asked that question recently on Instagram and you guys delivered. Some of you really like your TV shows and some of you really don't like TV. More on that in a minute. There was one number, one Enneagram type that rose above the rest and responded in droves. This number, this type showed up big time. I mean, look at this chart, you guys. One number represents 27% of respondents on this survey. What? Any guesses on what number that is? All right, I'll tell you. That 27% who showed up were our 9s, followed by 1s at 14%, 8s at 13%, 4s, 12%, 2s, 11%, 5 and 6, 7%, and tailing at the end, 7s at 5% and 3s at 4%. Hey guys, I just wanted to pop in real quick and show you this gorgeous box of roses. These are from Roses Forever and are 100% natural, real roses. They smell amazing. I wish you could smell them because they smell so good. Rose Forever uses natural oils to preserve these beauties and they're gonna last about a year. Make sure you check out their website and check back regularly because they're constantly launching new collections. I've posted a link to that website in the video description and a discount code, Leanne Michelle 15 for 15% off. Valentine's Day is coming. And we did hear from several of you who don't watch TV or don't binge TV, and everyone that said that was either a 1 or a 3. I have not time to binge. TV is a waste of time. Enneagram 3. I don't usually binge because I have too much to do. Okay, we get it. You're very busy and have more important things to do, 3s. Fine. One of the very few recommendations we did get from a 3 was Emily in Paris because of the fashion. Sorry, I've been corrected. It's Amélie in Paris. Some 1s also claim to not binge TV very often. Nothing. I read and reread books. I don't binge watch TV. I have a hard time sitting through an episode. But 1s were also the second highest to respond. So y'all are confusing me. Well, it doesn't surprise me that 9s were the biggest to respond. And the second two were the 1s and the 8s. So presumably like the 9s, that triad, 1, 9, 8 is like TV, except for a few 1s who are very sure to tell me, no TV for me. Okay. The ones who are watching TV, what are they watching? This isn't gonna surprise you. A lot of shows that are justice driven. Homeland, NCIS, Only Murders in the Building, The Witcher, which was Bonnie's edition. I had to look it up. Yellowstone, and I'm an Enneagram 1. This show gives me major high justice vibes. Yellowstone is actually a really popular recommendation from all the numbers. It's in our top 5, and I will give you that top 5 list at the end of the video. But we also heard from an Enneagram 7 who loves Yellowstone. They wrote in and said, I'm binging Yellowstone, but isn't everyone? Alas, 7s were second to last on our list of respondents. But the few 7s who are watching apparently Yellowstone, and Modern Family, Cobra Kai, Big Bang Theory, and 1883. Try and find a common thread there, and there really isn't one. They're all over the place, which is just like our 7s. We love you guys. Let's talk about 5s and 6s, another couple of numbers that were low on the response. Here's what 5s are watching: Dexter, Psych, and Jeopardy, among a few others, but those 3 popped up an uncomfortable amount of times. The 5s really like those shows. 6s are binging Anxious People, Doomsday Preppers, and homesteading tutorials on YouTube. I cannot make this up. Those are the actual real life messages I got from 6s. So I got another quote from 6 that says they watch old shows that they've seen 100 times. And I also saw this in responses from 6s. They like to watch their doomsday shows, but they also like to see those favorites that they've seen over and over again that are predictable, warm, and cozy, and aren't gonna throw them for a loop. 4s. Honestly, I didn't expect the 4s to show up to this party. I didn't. I thought the 4s would be the ones saying, what's a television? But you showed up and represented 12% of our data in this. Way to break stereotypes. However, every single Enneagram 4, and I did an Excel sheet, you guys. I'm not a 1, but I tapped into 1 for this. Every single person who's an Enneagram 4 who responded recommended a different show. So don't you worry, 4s. You're all watching TV, but nobody's watching the same show. You are still a unique little butterfly. So some titles that were recommended by 4s, which I've never heard of and will make them happy. A Discovery of Witches, Father Brown. Great Canal Journeys. The person who submitted this one said, Great Canal Journeys on Prime. And I'm a 4 and a nerd. And sadly, actually, 1-4 is binging Yellowstone just like everyone else. For shame. Let's chat about 8s for a minute. And this should not surprise anybody. Most of the titles I saw recommended by 8s involve violence. Just kidding. But really, we don't mind violence. Like, bring it. We can handle it. Not necessarily violence, but definitely conflict. I'm an 8, and we love our shows that demonstrate conflict, characters that aren't afraid to confront conflict, also very justice-driven. So here's a list of what we saw 8s recommend. Younger, The Wheel of Time, The Great, The Act, Mayor of Easttown, Loki, and 2 shows that I am also a huge fan of as another Enneagram 8, Made on Netflix, so good, and Only Murders in the Building on Hulu, also amazing. So I'm gonna throw in my 2 cents here. Currently, I am binging a show on Netflix that has a lot to do with conflict and actually a lot of violence in it. It's called Money Heist. It's a Spanish show, and it is so good, but don't watch it with your kids in the room. All right, 2 numbers left, so let's talk about the 2. Lots of feel-good and happy recommendations coming from our Enneagram 2s. Titles like Ted Lasso, New Girl, Friends, Good Witch, and Gilmore Girls, which was actually the #1 recommended show of all of our respondents, so it tops our list that I'll get to in just a minute. 9s, the 9s, y'all understood the assignment! I don't want to stereotype. I don't want to do it. I hear a lot from you guys about napping and how I'm a non-napping 9. And we always joke about the 9s napping, but you know what? If it's not napping, it's some kind of form of procrastination. And apparently a lot of you binge watch TV. Okay, so 9s love their TV, and here's what they're watching. Buckle up, relax. The list is long. All Creatures Great and Small, and with an E, Community, Parks and Rec, Schitt's Creek, Ted Lasso, Downton Abbey, Great British Bake Off, The Chosen, The Crown, The Morning Show, This Is Us, and of course, Gilmore Girls. There were a lot more titles recommended, but those were the top of the list for the 9s. Wow, if you ever need a show recommendation, call up your 9 friends because they have a whole lot. So in addition to looking at the Enneagram numbers and which shows they were watching and who was responding, which is just kind of fun research data for some people like that. Some people like that. And I happen to be one of those people. I like digging into some numbers occasionally. I can be a 5 if I want to, sometimes. I also was curious to see which shows are the #1 recommended shows across numbers, and here's the list of the top 5. Number 5, Only Murders in the Building. Number 4, The Office. We all love The Office. Number 3 is Yellowstone. Number 2 is Ted Lasso. And Gilmore Girls was the #1 recommended show. And to be honest, you guys, confession time, I started that show a couple years ago and just couldn't get into it. Should I give it another try? What about our list? Was your favorite show recommended? Is there a show that we missed that you'd love to share? Please enter the conversation in our comments. Share your Enneagram type and what your favorite show is to binge or what you're binging right now. I would love to get some more recommendations, and I'm sure our viewers would as well. So join the conversation in our comments and let's binge something together. But actually, while you're here, feel free to binge our content. We'll link to some other videos. Happy to have you do that too.